nice. Yeah, she's awesome.
You
Gotta
know,
take
like
you
some
guys
of them,
with
like,
me now.
There's some of those things are like, you know, sort of perfect as they are. You know.
Thank you.
This is Eric Bauza, the voice of the Banana Splits.
Thanks everybody. Good talking to you.
Hey, so real quick, while we're getting started here, and I'm pushing the record button, if you just mind enunciating your name and your position on the production.
Eric Bauza. And people often like to say Bowser because of Mario Brothers, but it's Bauza, and I do all of the voices of the Banana Splits.
Perfect, thank you.
One of them doesn't have a voice.
Snorky. He laughs though, doesn't he? I just learned that at the other table. It's like, yeah.
Now they tell you.
Yeah. Stop the movie! Yeah. I'll do the live, the laughs live tonight.
You just add it in as an extra commentary. I think so. You were talking on the panel. It was fascinating about your appreciation of the original voice talent. So is that quite daunting for you to try and emulate something? I know you've done it before.
Especially, like the more notable voices like Paul Winchell, like we had discussed on the panel, is the original voice of Tigger. That's like such an iconic sounding voice. It's like, I don't know how they did it back in the day, like Mel Blanc voicing all the Looney Tunes characters. He must have been in a three-piece suit, smoking indoors, no air conditioning, asbestos in the ceiling, drinking whiskey, and like knocking these voices out of his...
Don't you do that?
I should start. I should probably start. Yeah. No, but I mean, I couldn't imagine what it was like back in the day. I mean, we get air conditioning and bottled waters and these fancy throat lozenges. But yeah, Paul Winchell was like human bagpipes. He would always push air out of its body. It sounds like he was like reaching for something on a nightstand. Where's my Tylenol?
How did you discover that you could do that?
It was usually during the morning announcements at elementary school, where I'd get to imitate teachers or make fun of people. I think as kids we all kind of like make voices and pretend to be characters. But it wasn't until like later on that I knew I had this weird ability to imitate people. Yeah.
So then, did you have to go back and watch original Banana Splits productions, or did you?
Absolutely. They didn't want to veer too far from the originals, and if anything, the only thing that we changed was how fast or how slow they said things, because you could say something like, "We're gonna have fun," and it sounds friendly, but if you say it like, "We're gonna have fun," like that's obviously creepy, and it's not fun. But yeah, it's like that's the most that we kind of toyed with it, but it was interesting to say the least.
Were you on set on that?
I was not on set. They filmed everything in South Africa. I was in the South Africa of California, Burbank, California. No, I don't know. I recorded all of my stuff over at Out Loud Audio. Oh my gosh, that's a very interesting question. It was kind of like, sometimes audio, like in the movie Space Jam, for instance, is a last-minute thought because they filmed the original movie with other actors on set. So the actual voices were added later, and I feel like we're in a bit of a time crunch. But I was able to get through 48 lines of dialogue, 4 different characters, in less than 2 hours. So I earned this coffee. No. This is actually what they paid me. They're like, "Here's your paycheck. Don't spend it all in one plate."
Thanks, Warner Brothers.
But yeah, it was a bit of a task, but I was up to the challenge.
So when they filmed, did they have actors actually speak lines and then they dubbed them?
I think they did. Either they had a script reader there on set, or the actors inside the costumes would give the line deliveries. Yeah, but there was enough space for me to play around with the script, ad lib. there was a very crazy fight scene that happens in this movie, and I got to like do like all the efforts for that.
So are there any other childhood characters that you would like to voice as Murderous?
I don't know. I made a joke earlier. I was like, why don't we do a kids version of Freddy Krueger and Leatherface and really flip it on its head, you know?
Yeah.
Like Freddy Krueger's Neighborhood, you know? Like have kids come over. No, that'd be awful. I don't know, man. I think this is the perfect, the be-all end-all is Banana Splits, because there's something weird about costume characters. They're always smiling. You can never really see their eyes, or if you can't see their eyes, they're pretty soulless. So
No demonic Winnie the Pooh for you, like Winnie the Pooh or something?
that would be nuts. I think we gotta pitch that to Warner Bros.
Yeah, let's do it.
Or at least Gary. Gary will take a pitch. Yeah.
Whatever you need.
But yeah, are you guys having a good con?
No.
Same old. No. Always the best dressed, by the way, at the con.
Yeah, so you've done voice acting for a lot of other stuff. I think I've seen you in a few of the press rooms when I was doing the DC show, their animated stuff. So like, when you're doing an animated character, they give you like the storyboard for, what the character's gonna be doing when you're doing the recording. So what was the process like? Did you have the full movie done in front of you and you were just doing ADR on it? How does it work?
For the most part, all the scenes that required the voice was already there, and it was pretty much the closest without like sound effects, and some of the scenes did have music, but essentially the picture, like all the information that I needed to deliver like a proper voice for the character was there. So I still haven't seen the movie yet in its entirety, and I'm about to watch it tonight with like apparently a sold out audience, so at the Horton Grant. So I could try to get you guys tickets, but I don't know. It's 10 to midnight. I'm sure you guys would rather be sleeping. If not, I'll send you guys DVDs.
So how come you haven't seen it?
I'm scared of soiling myself. No, I'm just kidding. Just because they did send me a link to try to get prepped for press, but I just haven't had enough time to to see the movie in its entirety. I was kind of secretly waiting to watch it tonight.
Yeah, it would be nice to watch it with the atmosphere, and particularly given the response it's had online from people about killing their childhood.
Morbid curiosity. I think people are just going to want to see this film.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
I mean, it's a great horror, regardless of anything else, regardless of what it was.
Yeah.
It's a really good horror.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing too. It's like it's not trying to be campy or funny. It's just a straight movie, like a straight up horror film. And I think the comedy is going to come from the absurdity of these costume characters, man. I swear.
Are you going to push for more lines in the sequel?
I hope so. Definitely some snarky lines. He should just have an inner monologue the whole time. Your voice would be good as snarky inner monologue.
Turn into a strange avant-garde inner working.
Yes.
Like Henry. That was the Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Yes.
Yeah,
that would be
good.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Snorky Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Oh man, the sequel should just be about you doing the lines and then becoming a serial killer yourself. So meta. Let's pitch it. We got all these good ideas.
And it's eating itself. It's crazy. It's like a black hole of horror movies. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.